You're listening to At the Mic with Keith, an independent podcast production.
And welcome to this three-part edition of At the Mic. I'm your host, Keith Malinak. Today, we're presenting three personalities who are all a part of the Pat Gray Unleashed team at the Blaze TV and radio networks. Kind of a producer potpourri of behind-the-scenes individuals who work to bring you one of the network's most popular programs, Pat Gray Unleashed. Three individuals I want you to get to know a little better, like Martin Garcia, Priyanka Shah, and Daniel Boling. First up, the one and only Martin Garcia, who sat down to discuss his time at the Blaze, what gets YouTube videos millions of views, his love for the band The Red Hot Chili Peppers, and what houseflies may have been in a previous life, according to Martin. That's what we get into right now on this edition of At the Mic. Martin Garcia, Martin, one of the producers, makes a lot of things go at the Blaze TV and radio. I mean, you do so much around here, and I mean that sincerely. Yeah,
I do a lot.
He said doo-doo. No, that's hey, how long have you been at the Blaze?
Since 2015.
Wow,
I think.
So that's a while.
No, not 2015. I'm such a liar.
Then
2017, I think.
Okay, I take it back.
Yeah, I've been here for about 3 years.
Yeah, it's not that long.
No.
Okay, so you were born and raised here in the Dallas Metroplex, right?
That I was, yeah.
Okay.
So Farmers Branch,
Branch.
Texas.
Yeah.
So it's like there's that major highway 635. On the south side of that is Dallas.
Uh-huh.
On the north side is Farmers Branch.
Okay.
People just get mad, though, when you say that you're from Dallas, and then they're like, oh, really, what part? And then you're like, well, Farmers Branch. But if I start off with, I'm from Farmers Branch, people don't know where that is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You just say Metro Dallas.
Exactly.
That's how you get around that.
Yeah.
And then, okay. All right. People get mad about that?
Yeah, people get... Blake, who works here as well.
Really?
Yeah, I remember in college, because we went to college together, and she was like, oh, really, what part of Dallas are you from? And I was like, well, I'm actually from Farmers Branch, but no one knows where. And she was like, well, then that's not really Dallas.
Are you?
I was like,
what in
okay.
the world? Okay, that's a little ridiculous, Blake, in case you're listening. You have an older brother, half-brother, right?
I do, yeah.
How close in age are y'all?
Not close at all. My brother is, I believe, like 15 years older than me.
So why don't you guys, why don't you get along? Did something happen?
No, it's...
Did he steal your stuff when you were a kid?
No. We got along. It's just
okay.
By the time I was already like coming into life, he was already like kind of already out of it, you know.
I gotcha.
So we didn't really grow up together.
I understand. So
but there were
times
where we hung out and
that's
stuff
cool.
like that.
Yeah. Well, tell me about some of those times. I mean, are they like few and far between that you can remember them all? I'm just kidding.
No. But there is this one that I'll give my brother props. I remember going over to his apartment one time, and he had the Xbox, and I was like, oh, man, I want to play Xbox. So I'm playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater or something, and then he starts playing this music, and he's just like, hey, listen to this. And he starts playing music, and it's doom, 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 doom. And it's Seven Nation Army by White Stripes, and I'm like, whoa, I actually really like this
I was
band.
debating whether or not to start singing. Yeah. I'm going to Wichita.
Yeah, he introduced me to White Stripes, and White Stripes is like one of my favorite bands.
Oh, cool.
Too, so.
Oh, good. Well, that's really good. So how did you end up getting into the radio business? How did that happen?
So, like I said, Blake and I went to college together. We actually went to school for music engineering.
Oh, wow.
So, like recording in studios and recording live sound, like live shows, and also working on film and TV. So I didn't really have a music or mass communications background, but when we left school, like she came here and started working here, and I think we had like reconnected, and she was like, "Hey, the Blaze is hiring if you want to come work here," and I was just like, "Don't know what that is, but okay."
Okay, so it sounds like when you were a kid, this isn't the kind of job you envisioned you having.
No.
Right. I mean, you wanted to do something in the world of entertainment, but talk radio was probably the furthest thing from your mind?
I wouldn't say the furthest thing. I mean, growing up, a really big popular show here in Dallas is Kid Craddock in the Morning.
Hold on. Was that popular in Dallas or in Farmers Branch?
In Dallas.
Okay.
In Dallas, Fort Worth.
I'm just kidding. Stop, man. Come on. Yeah,
All
Kid
right,
Craddock. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kid Craddock in the morning, I used to listen to him all the time going to school, middle school, high school.
Okay.
And then the tragic,
I know,
thing.
man. What is?
So yeah, I mean, growing up, I was like, man, it would be really cool to work there and be a part of that. And so for a while, I did want to be like some sort of radio personality, but I'm not a great talker. So I think that was a bad road for me to take. But yeah, so then I started to get really into music, and I play instruments, and so that's why I went to school.
Yeah.
I primarily play drums.
Uh-huh.
I'm a percussionist. I've been playing since middle school, sixth grade. And then in college, I taught myself. A friend of mine taught me 4 chords on the guitar, and then I just took it upon myself to teach myself through YouTube videos and tabs.
I tell you, man, YouTube teaches you how to do anything you want.
Will
right?
teach you anything that
I've called it the grandfather of this century, because that's the grandfather, like stuff you would ask your parents or your grandparents. How do I install a fence?
Yep.
How do I
boil water?
How do I boil? Wait.
I mean, there's people out there who don't know how to boil water. Okay, I'm
know
not
what?
saying that I'm one.
I started to laugh there, but I did actually go to middle school with a kid who did not. He swore he did not know how to make toast.
See,
So
you think some things that you would think is just common sense.
hold on a second. Hold on.
I
I gotta verify this on. This is called on the fly verify. Okay. How to boil water on YouTube. Here we go. And there are plenty of videos for that.
Well, wait, the top video, let me guess, has several, either hundreds of thousands or millions of views.
The toast one, French toast is 26 million. How to make just regular toast is, there's 142,000. So let's just go. How to boil water, 732,000. Yeah, 1.2. No, that's something else. Anyway, so there you go. You're absolutely right. People will watch these.
Exactly.
Help us.
I'm telling you.
That's good. Okay, you've held other jobs.
I did, yeah.
You worked. What's Garland Computer? Do you know computers really well?
No, I don't. So my dad works for shipping for this computer company, and during like high school and some of college, whenever I would be on break, like winter break or Thanksgiving break, I would go and work with him a little bit, and I would basically just strip the computer apart. So the owner will buy pallets of computers, and then used ones or wherever they're auctioning them off, we'll get them and we'll take out the important stuff that we can resell.
Yeah.
And then everything else is just gutted, recycled, and then thrown away.
So you got to pull them apart and stuff?
Yeah, so I was taking motherboards apart. I was taking batteries out. I was taking the little heat sink things.
Can you put a computer back together or just rip it apart?
I think I could probably put it back
Wing
together.
it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Raising Cane's? Was that
Raising
fun?
Cane's chicken.
Yeah. Is that fun?
Gosh.
What? I mean, the food is great.
Exactly.
I'm not paying for any sauces.
So
I'm not doing it.
No,
I'm not doing it.
You can't.
On principle.
I
Sorry.
know. That's one thing that I don't agree with Raising Cane's. You got to fix that. But no, when I first started working there, lots of my friends worked in this food service industry, and they always say it sucks if you're working at a fast food place that you like, because you get to eat so much of the food that you might not like it after a while.
Oh. Yeah.
But Raising Cane's is so good that never happened to me. I still eat Cane's to this day.
That's good. That's good. What'd you do at Hampton Inn and Suites?
So I was the night audit and basically just the graveyard shift. So I was working from like, I think 9 p.m. to like
You're at the front desk?
5 a.m. or something. Yeah.
What part of town?
This was back in college, so it was a summer job.
I mean, what kind of clientele did you get coming in overnights?
There were some families, like especially like Parents' Day and big events that were going on in the school. You would definitely get, the families coming in to visit their kids. But a lot of the times it was just people who were just passing by, or some business people.
Did we establish which college you went to?
No. So I went to Stephen F. Austin State University.
Yeah.
It's in a little small town in East Texas called Nacogdoches, Texas.
Right. Yep. Yes, that's come up before on this podcast. Okay, so you're not married, but you do have a girlfriend.
I do.
And that seems to be going well as often as you travel to Ohio.
I know that's just like, wow, Ohio, really? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Edit that out, Keith. I don't want her to hear that.
Let's make sure we take
Well,
that out.
that's good. That's good. I'm glad that's going well.
Yeah.
And what do you do if you ever get any downtime? Because like we established early on in this podcast, in this episode, is that you stay very busy working around here. You run the board for the Pat Gray Morning Show, so you make sure that the audio is going out okay and all that good stuff. You also help prepare Glenn for his radio show that follows afterward, Glenn Beck.
Yep.
Then you move over to the call screening duties for the people wanting to join Glenn on the program. You also post the podcast of Glenn, Glenn Beck. What
There's
am I
a lot
missing
of stuff.
here? Yeah, I mean, that's plenty, right?
There's a lot.
Do you have to produce promos as well and everything?
I produce promos for Glenn.
Yeah.
I call screen, do all the podcasts. I do the weekend show for Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm doing, video, so the video on demand, what you see on YouTube or on Blaze TV later on. That's edited by me.
Look at that. So if you have any
Pat's
problems,
show.
you have any pets?
I don't. My mom doesn't like animals very much. I always wanted a dog. I still want a dog.
Yeah.
I'm moving here in a couple of weeks, so I'm moving into an apartment, sadly, so I feel guilty getting a dog in an apartment because it's so small.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to wait until I get into a house, but I definitely want a dog.
You're not a cat guy?
No.
Oh, no.
I hate cats.
Wow.
Cats are horrible.
I mean, what did a cat ever do to you?
On social media, yeah, there are the cute little kittens, and they're just like
kitten in a Kleenex
they're
box.
just like, yeah, I get it. But then you see a whole other side of cats where they just tear your face apart for no reason.
Sure.
I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a thing.
I don't need that.
Yeah. What kind of music you been listening to these days?
I mean, a lot of just whatever.
A lot of just whatever? Wow, that's
I mean, the new
you got
Strokes
right to
album
it.
came out a couple months ago.
Did you enjoy that? Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I was listening to that for a bit, and then I just move on to old music that I've been listening to, and then sometimes I'm like, what else is out there? So then I'll start listening to something else. I don't know how to describe the music that I'm listening to now.
It's impossible because you'll have it on in the morning getting ready for the show, and I'll walk in there and I feel old. Let's put that. When I enter the room where Martin's listening to music, I immediately feel older than I am, I think.
It's not like EDM or anything like that, but there is a lot of electronic, like computers sounds and stuff like that.
It's fun stuff, right?
It's fun.
It's like stuff you would hear on a soundtrack of a movie that was set 100 years in the future.
Sure.
Just
Cisco, don't think of it as super weird, because that's not weird.
Yeah. Cisco Adler. Okay, I feel old reading this because that's a celebrity that you've had a run-in with. I'm sorry that I'm not familiar. Should I be?
I don't think so. I think he was mostly he was an artist, but I think he was mostly a producer, and he's worked with some other people in the pop industry. But his dad is famous. Who's an Adler who's pretty famous?
Sure. Cisco Adler's dad. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We're both Googling right now. Cisco Adler's dad. Lou Adler?
Yeah, Lou Adler. I think he's pretty famous. Yeah, he's a record producer as well.
I see that. Okay. Well.
But yeah, I went to a music festival here in Dallas, or I guess it was in Grand Prairie. But I went there and he put on. I
gotta be specific in case Blake.
I'm telling you,
if Blake is listening, we gotta make sure we don't just loosely higgledy-piggledy throw out Dallas.
I don't want people on my social media being like, yo, that's not Dallas. What are you doing?
That's Grand Prairie, man.
So it was a music festival, and then he had his little booth where he was selling merch and was greeting
being
some
nice
of the
to
fans.
people. That's cool.
So I got a nice T-shirt signed, and
but see, what do you do with that
T-shirt?
Oh no! How'd you lose it?
I don't know. I've moved so many times that I think I just threw it away.
But see, I was gonna say I don't understand getting autographs on clothing, because then I'm not wearing a cap with a signature on it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, unless you just want to retire the cap.
Unless you want to retire the cap,
box it up.
Sure.
But yeah, that's the only thing I had. I was poor, so I wasn't gonna buy anything.
Right. So, you know what?
I was like, dude, just sign the white T-shirt that I'm wearing right now.
You just reminded me. I went to a music festival in Omaha, Nebraska during college, and Semisonic, the band, was there, and they were giving out free posters. And so you'd be handed a pretty good sized poster, and then you'd go down to the three guys in the band. They would sign it. And I let a few people go in front of me that I don't know if I was in a good mood or whatever it was, but I let several people go in front of me. And like 2 places before, like my friends who were with me got posters and got them signed.
Oh,
they ran out like 2 people before me, and I remember, and I've got it somewhere. Man, I don't know what happened to this. But the lead singer of the band, Dan Wilson, I remember him reaching down and he grabbed like a paper bag that was underneath the table. And he's like, hey, how about this? And in fact, it says something like, to Keith, here's this great paper bag from, the Omaha Music Festival, where it was. I got to find that. I haven't seen that in years.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I hear you. Okay. Martin Garcia, you are apparently, in your own words, a big baby when it comes to emotional parts of a movie or TV show. Is there a particular scene that comes to mind that you can describe for us?
Just like, I don't know, just the super sad stuff. I mean, especially like the videos. Now this isn't TV show or movie, but like the videos on social media of like military people coming home and like surprising their kids.
Brother, see, that's all of us.
That gets. I know.
Are you kidding me?
I know, but that gets to me. I mean, like. Sad parts of a movie where like maybe like someone close to the main actor dies, like a family member, or they're reunited later on.
I gotcha. Absolutely. Oh no, we're all there. I wouldn't say we're big babies. We're just human beings with souls at that point. I will say though, not to compare animals and humans whatsoever, but these heartstring pulling videos of animals struggling, or suffering or something like that. There's a great follow on Twitter, Dodo, D-O-D-O, I don't know the rest of it, right? It's exclusively animal videos.
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, it's all going to turn out okay. This may be the most malnourished mama dog ever.
That they found on the street.
Right, begging people as they pass by with fleas and ticks and mange. She's just... And you're just like, oh my gosh, she's got these puppies and no one cares for her and all this stuff. In the back of your mind, it's going to have a happy ending at least.
Exactly, yep.
But I'm with you, man.
They always rescue the dog, feed it, and the next thing you know, it's in a pound with a whole bunch of other dogs just running around.
Or no, it's adopted by a loving home with kids playing in the yard. And you're like, oh, sometimes you just want to fast forward to the end. Get to the happy ending part. Yay, there it is. Happy now. Okay, so what is your earliest memory growing up?
I think I gave you this one. This was like also kind of an embarrassing moment for me. I was a kid, so I mean, I don't blame myself. But so my mom came over a long time ago, and so we still have family down in Mexico.
Okay.
And so we took a family vacation down there with some of my cousins and my aunts who live here. We went back to Mexico, and I'm deathly afraid of bugs in general. Like,
do you think it goes back to this early memory?
When I'm around my girlfriend and some other people, I'm like, I got this. Don't worry.
I'll take care of it, babe.
Don't worry. But inside, I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
So bugs, but especially bees and wasps.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I'm allergic because knock on wood.
Oh wow.
I've yet to be.
How are you born and raised in Texas?
I've gotten so lucky.
What? Have you ever stepped in an ant pot, like a fire ant?
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Okay. How did you react?
That was fine. I mean, ants. They're pretty easy to squish, so it's not that big of a deal. But
but I'm just mean like, did you swell up? I'm just wondering.
A little bit. Not. I don't think anything.
But do you think that you're being terrified of bugs, bees and wasps, stuff like that goes back to this memory you're about to tell us about?
Probably.
Okay, so what happened?
So we're sitting down at this restaurant, and this restaurant is outside seating, and I mean, we have delicious Mexican food around us, right? So of course there's going to be bees, and I don't know if it was wasp. It was probably just for sure bees that were just like flying around us, and I got so scared. I'm telling you, like I was crying.
Yeah.
I could not sit in my seat because I was always trying to run away from these bees. So I was just horrible.
I'm telling you.
At that time.
I'm telling you, the vast majority of the guests here on At the Mic, their earliest memory is trauma. It's a bad memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's okay. Let's explore this. It's okay that you cry at sappy stuff. Okay. It's okay that you don't like bugs and bees and stuff. So far, I don't think there's anything for you to really be ashamed of.
But I do hate especially the flying bugs because it's just something about the like just when they're passed by your ear. Oh my gosh.
It's like
so
they have the control
exactly
of the situation.
Oh, and they know it because they come to you on purpose and fly by your ear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's horrible.
Even flies, I think, take glee in bugging us.
Oh, for sure.
Because, I mean, they can't do anything to us.
For sure.
Other than just aggravate us. And boy, I think they really enjoy themselves.
Also, I think they were maybe in a past time the first ninjas in the world. Because, I mean, it's kind of hard to kill a fly.
This is the Martin Garcia
I've
been waiting for, folks.
You can creep up on a fly and just move as slow as possible. And at the last second, just
right, and then he's gone.
And it's gone.
Yeah. So just
for sure, the first ninjas of the world.
Just to recap, Martin Garcia believes that flies, likely in a previous life, were ninjas.
Birds or chickens were once T-Rexes, right? I'm sure flies were once ninjas.
Huh. So why'd they come back as flies? I would rather why are they devolving?
They probably had a good life back in the day, and so now they have a crappy life just flying around dumpsters.
So there's that. That's the Martin I was hoping we would get to meet today. Tell me who's had the biggest impact on your life? Other than your parents, as you've stated.
Yeah, I was going to say family-wise, my parents. Non-family-wise, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't know if you knew that by the RHCP.
I did not. I mean, I know who the Red Hot Chili Peppers are. I remember the T-shirts. Oh, my goodness. What year were you born?
At 93.
Okay. So that's fun. That's real fun. Before you were born, I remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers and the T-shirts that every kid in my school had but me. But yes. So how have the Red Hot Chili Peppers impacted your life, Martin?
This is like a question that I always was like, if I get asked this question or like what kind of songs or what artist has changed your life, I always thought, man, that's so ridiculous. I don't know. I've never had that moment. But Red Hot Chili Peppers, they came out with this song a while ago while I was in college. And I was kind of dealing with some stuff, and I listened to that new album that they released, and especially the one single, and I was just like, man, this is perfect right now.
Okay. Wow.
I was like, okay, you know what?
Have you ever reached out to the band to thank them for their artistry?
No. But I did. Chad Smith came to Austin, and he was holding this art exhibit that I guess he's doing.
Oh, wow.
Just in general, like traveling the U.S. and holding pop-up art exhibits. He came down in Austin, and I wanted to go so bad, but totally forgot about it.
Wow.
I thought I put it in my calendar, and then I checked my calendar, and I was like, wait, where's the save the date thing?
I've been there. Yeah, and like the day passes, and you go back, and you see it or something, but it never caught your attention when it apparently alerted you.
Exactly.
Right.
And of course, that weekend I wasn't doing anything anyways, so I could have definitely gone.
No kidding.
But yeah.
I like your goal in life. One of your goals is that you would like to hear a song that you produced on the radio. I think that'd be very cool.
I'm telling you, like, music is definitely my thing.
Yeah.
I love it. I try to listen to everything. Now, that doesn't mean that every genre is my favorite genre, but I try and listen. I listen to European music, like French music, to music coming out of, like, the Middle East. I listen to Asian music.
That's what I was going to say. As much as our coworker Jeff Fisher watches every TV show, I think that you sincerely listen to every kind of music there is.
Yeah.
Because I don't see you outside of work, but I just know that inside work, you're constantly listening to some sort of music. And this isn't a dig whatsoever. I don't know if maybe it's an ADD type thing or something you always have to keep your mind active, which I can totally appreciate.
Yeah.
Trust me. But you're always listening to music, and I'm wondering, when it comes to producing something or possibly having something end up on the radio, do you care what genre that ends up being from, or are you willing to produce any kind of music?
I think I'm willing to produce any type of music, and I think that's why I listen to so much music, because like this, that was like a goal of mine, was to be, you know, like a music producer and produce music and release it and all that other stuff. So I was like, yeah, I might be working on a pop song, but I would like to incorporate some country, you know, flavor to it, or some rock and roll music to it. So,
and maybe you can't answer this question, but how does someone get into that business where you are finding yourself producing music and songs?
See, now that's a good question. That's why I'm in radio.
So if you're listening to this podcast and you have a connection in the music producing business, reach out.
Hit me up.
To Martin Garcia, who you can find on social media, on Twitter. Now, you got to write this down because it's Martin.
It's a little hard. I'm not going to lie.
Jedi Master Martin, but drop the E in Master. So it's Jedi Master Martin. Jedi Master.
That's on Twitter.
Martin on Twitter.
Because Twitter wouldn't let me put that one extra letter.
Yeah, that's annoying, right? Yeah.
That's why.
You don't have a lot of space on the Twitter handle, that's for sure. Exactly. And then on Instagram, it's Jedi Master Martin with the E.
Yep, because Instagram is awesome and they let me put the full thing.
Right.
I also have created an extra account that's just called Garcia Plays Drums.
Yeah.
And that's where I put all the music stuff.
Oh, so if you want to see Martin in action creating music, go to Instagram at Garcia Plays Drums.
Yep.
That's cool.
But yeah, that's why I listen to a lot of music. I also just really, I think, so what you were saying with the ADD thing is, I think it just helps me calm down and focus. Because when I'm driving, I turn the music on and I blare it. I don't like people talking in the car.
Sure.
I just like to listen to music and drive. When I'm trying to focus on work, I'm listening to music. I mean, even sometimes when I'm doing stuff here, like trying to produce some stuff, if I'm just doing some research, I'll probably just put some music on and then do all the research that I need to do. Okay. So I think it's also just like a calming thing.
Absolutely. So if you could do something and knew you wouldn't fail other than produce music, you'd want to be an astronaut, huh?
Yeah.
Is this something since you were a kid?
Yeah. So
you grew up in a different time than me, okay? Because like when I was a kid, like a space shuttle was going off every 5 minutes, and it was just standard fare. Oh, look, it's time for another space launch, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, it was cool, but it wasn't a galvanizing event. I know that recently we finally went back into space.
Which was dope.
And that was something I had my kids watching.
Yeah.
I said, this is an event, whereas 20 years ago...
I've just been like, okay,
30
switch
years
the
ago.
channel.
Yeah, it would have been like, oh, cool, all right, very good, okay.
Yeah, I've just...
But you came up at a time when that really wasn't something we did too much. So just explain to me how you got that love for space and wanting to become an astronaut.
At first, I think it was just one of those, like, I want to be a president. Well, I want to be a doctor, and I want to be an astronaut, right? So I think it was just one of those things at first. But there's just something about space that is just so amazing and is so crazy that it just grabbed my attention, and I just love it. Science, although I'm really bad at science, I really like science because it's just really cool, like theory of relativity and all that other stuff.
Do you understand all that stuff?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
Right. So what is something that you have done for the first time recently? Does anything come to mind there?
Done for the first time?
Yeah. Because I kind of wanted to set this up in a very generic way to see if it was like a traumatic thing that you just said, oh, let me tell you this. Your answer on the email was that I don't understand this. Please explain. A couple months ago, you tried to eat fish again. What do you mean? Like, again? What does that mean?
Well...
And it didn't work out, he says.
I don't like fish.
Okay.
I don't like any seafood. Don't like shrimp, sushi, lobster, crab, whatever. I don't like any of that. And all of my friends love it, especially sushi. And I'm just like, I don't get it. It's not good. It doesn't taste good.
I won't even try that.
And so couple of months ago, we went to dinner for my girlfriend's birthday, and we went to a really nice spot. Her parents were in town. They took us out, and she had like this steak that had, I think, just small chunks of lobster on it, on top. I think it's a type of steak. I'm not too sure.
Huh.
But so she's
sounds like a nice restaurant.
Exactly. So she's like, here, try this. It's chicken. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I take this.
Was she lying to you?
Yes.
What?
Why I'm still with her, I don't know.
Right?
But she tricked me into trying this crab meat or lobster, whatever it was. And at first I tried it. And now this is where I'm just like, you know what? That was actually kind of good. But then another second passed by and I was like, but that doesn't taste like chicken.
Wait a minute.
And then I was like, she was like, is that good? And I was like, yeah, it was pretty good. But I feel like, and she didn't even let me finish. She was like, that was fish. I told you you'd like it.
And was she pointing at you like, sucker?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, that's not, first off, we're at a really fancy place. Obviously, I feel like any food will be good.
In front of her parents.
Yeah. They're paying, so of course I'm going to be like, yeah, honey, that was really
so
good.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, but no, just fish in general is just not good. I went to Ohio and we had fish and it was not great.
Well, I mean, it might have something to do with the fact you were in Ohio. I don't know that they're the fish capital of the world.
I don't know. I mean, they're right next to Lake Erie, so I would.
Again, making the point, I don't know that they're the fish capital of the world. I don't know that's where you want to get your fish from.
Yeah, I just don't like fish, and people try and force fish on me all the time. And it's just like, listen, it even tastes nasty and smells nasty. I don't understand why people like fish.
Yeah.
Stick to chicken and beef.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to argue with you. It has to be prepared properly, that's for sure. All right. Have we missed anything here? We've covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time here. I just wonder if there's anything that maybe we missed, huh? And we got your social media handles.
Really.
Jedi Master Martin on Twitter. Drop the E.
Yep.
Jedi Master Martin on Instagram. Keep the E.
Yep.
And to see Martin play music, Garcia plays drums on Instagram.
Yep. I didn't know that I put that on the email too.
Did we? Yeah. Well, I asked, you got any social media handles, and you answered the question, so that worked out nicely.
Yep.
Martin Garcia, my guest on At the Mic. Thanks so much, man.
Thank you, everybody.
Now we get to another member of the Pat Gray Unleashed team who doesn't join us up at the studios as much as she once did, as she has recently started her own filmmaking company. She sat down with me to discuss not only that, but crazed monkeys in India and the sport of cricket, which I have always wanted to be able to understand. Is today my day? Here's Priyanka Shah on At the Mic. Priyanka Shah, who I just call Pri, because it's easier that way. But she's my guest today. Thanks for making time. I appreciate it, because she's not up here as often as you used to be.
Oh, thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Because, see, so that people know, you were producing some stuff for Pat Gray Unleashed, the show on the Blaze that I produce. But you were in charge of doing video stuff for us and social media stuff, and very talented at that stuff, I will add. And so it stunk when you went off to do your own thing, but we totally understood. So now you're not up here quite as often as you used to be. What have you been occupying your time with?
So recently, the pandemic happened, and I started my own company. When you're at home, and I have a huge family and elders, so I didn't want to risk COVID, so I started cutting back at work. And then I just got so tired of doing, nothing. I mean, how much Pat Gray can I do from home?
Right.
Yeah, you have to be on the studio and be hands-on.
Yeah, COVID has changed a lot of things for a lot of people. But you were able to use it as an opportunity then to kind of branch out and do some video stuff.
Yeah, and I've been doing video stuff for the last 3 years, but I got to a point where I was only kind of holding back and not taking risks. And, opening up a company was the step that I needed to take.
What made you get into the whole world of video? Has it been something you've always wanted to do? Is that something more recent or what?
So since I was a kid, I wanted to be a zoologist. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I want to be a zoologist. I grew up kind of watching nature documentaries instead of like kids shows, which I did watch, but yeah, I just wanted to be in Africa and just live there forever, volunteering. I live I have 5 big families here in Dallas, and we're all entrepreneurs.
Oh, cool.
Doing things we love. And my parents were like, okay, you have all this energy and creative energy. You got to do something else. You can't just go to Africa and volunteer.
They're practical.
Yeah, they're very practical. And to be honest, I'm not really that good at science. And I just like taking videos of animals.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So then I transitioned into documentary filmmaking that I did as a kid, and then I've always been writing stories, so narrative filmmaking transitioned in college. I made 2 films. One is going to be showcased in Fort Worth. Yeah, it's in October. Okay. It's going to be at the Marriott Hotel in Fort Worth, yeah.
So you were born here in Dallas, raised here in Dallas, right? But I guess you have a lot of family over in India, huh?
Yeah, I only have one grandparent.
Okay.
So I'm very close to her, and I try really hard. Like, I learned my native language for her.
Oh, wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. And what is that?
That's something that's hard to spell, but Gujarati.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Spell it. I want to hear.
Gujati.
Okay.
It's not that bad, but speaking it is funny.
How long does it take to fly over to India?
Like 20 hours, 18 hours if you like don't have like a really long layover.
Yeah, where do you fly? So you fly from Dallas.
To Dubai?
Dubai?
Yeah, that flight itself
Wait,
is like,
so you go east then?
Yep.
Over the Atlantic?
Because the Earth is rotating.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go the other
because you're... That makes sense. I've never even considered that. Yeah, that makes total sense. Okay, so you go to Dubai, and then from Dubai to where? Is that the only
India.
That's the only connection you have to make?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Before it was like to the UK, to Dubai, and whatever.
Oh, boy.
Trash.
Oh. How many times have you been over there?
To India?
Yeah.
Probably like 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, go every 2 years.
How big of a difference would you say it is between India and America? What's that funny?
Oh my gosh, yes, it's a huge difference.
Right.
It's really.
What are some things that stand out for people that maybe aren't familiar?
Well, for starters, if you've been in Mexico City, it's similar. There's gonna be like, a kind of, if you go to Mumbai City, the smell is kind of a little different. You got more sewage kind of smell sometimes. Population is crazy high, and people are really, as Western as they are, they're also really cultured. So you'll see cows, walking the street on the highway. You'll be, taking a walk, and a monkey just steals your groceries.
I've seen some videos like that. What's with the monkeys over there, man?
Yeah, it's so cool. Don't look them in the eye. They will jump you.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had a video recently where they were like, one monkey was taking a kid. It was like trying to kidnap him off of a scooter or something.
Yeah, they steal chips and children and whatever.
That's rough. But you went to the University of North Texas.
Yeah.
And you studied media arts. So you've been aiming for this kind of career path since you've started, right?
I went to UNT undefined.
What does that mean? Oh, undefined.
Yeah, so I didn't know what I was going to do because it was only there as a temporary,
a placeholder
until I figured out where I wanted to go.
You got all of the required stuff, right? What do they call them? The prerequisite? I don't know. Whatever the thing.
No, I didn't have that either. I was just really confused, like any child, going to college. You don't know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because for life.
Okay.
So that's kind of scary.
All right. Well, you're not married, but you're dating someone. Tell us about him.
So I'm Indian American.
Okay.
My parents had an arranged marriage.
Wait, so
they
for
arranged
you?
it. They arranged it themselves, kind of.
For you?
For themselves.
Oh, for themselves. Okay, I was confused.
My parents had arranged marriage for themselves.
Got it.
They got married. They met each other and got married in a month and came here.
Oh, my goodness.
They love each other and whatever.
Over in India is where they got married.
They got married. My dad grew up kind of here.
Okay.
But he went to India, got married, and then brought my mom here.
Oh, my goodness. Was it love at first sight?
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, no, really? Like, who arranged this marriage?
Well, they're
both
I guess, siblings. They're like, they need to get married.
So
they just walked around everywhere, and then there's like dating forums out there.
Okay, but if he had flown over there, met your mom,
yeah,
not liked her, then they could have called it off, right?
Well, he went to India for 1 year, and he met like 70 people, and my mom was the one. And his visa was about to expire for India, so he got married in 1 month.
Oh no!
So that's another story. So
how long have they been married?
26 years.
Oh, it sounds like it worked out.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good. But so you guys have lived then here in the Dallas area your entire life?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Juan, the guy I'm dating.
oh yeah.
Yeah, he's Hispanic. He was born in Mexico.
Okay.
Grew up in Canada. He's in Dallas on visa.
It's like a happy medium. He's right.
Yeah.
He's right in between there. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, when does his visa expire?
Oh no, he's on work visa. He's good.
Okay. Had me nervous there. I thought maybe the
No.
clock was ticking, and all of a sudden we were about to hear wedding bells forced on
Oh
you.
no,
Okay.
gross. I'm not ready.
Okay. That's awesome.
I'm more looking for a business partner than a life partner.
Okay. What is going on with your filmmaking business? Clue us into what you are doing right now, because you're wearing a T-shirt right now that says, see, this is what I can't pronounce here.
Pennicam Films.
Okay. Pennicam Films.
Yes.
Pinikam. Tell us about it.
So Pennicam Films, I started 2 years ago as freelancing, and now it's officially, LLC company. This is a company that opened up during the global pandemic.
Oh.
And let me just be honest, I'm a Indian American female filmmaker that's 22 years old that's trying to start a company during the pandemic. I mean, if I can do that, then anyone can literally do anything.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
So,
And this is America, right?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. So, where can people go to maybe check out some of the stuff that you've produced?
So I have a Instagram, Pennicam Films, and then a Facebook page, also just Pennicam Films, Penikam Films.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've started working with this artist, L25. We have big things are coming up.
Okay. Well, when will we know about them, do you think?
Well, it'll be near October.
Oh, okay.
October, November. We'll be releasing our big grand, music video and
Nice.
music and just all this collaboration from the community.
So when you have some downtime and you're not running around doing filmmaking stuff and working with your company there, what is it you like to do for fun?
I like to, learn new things.
Okay. I mean,
Started
yeah.
learning Hindi and playing the guitar.
You're playing the guitar now?
I just started doing that last 3-4 months. Getting pretty.
Is it going okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't say I can play a song for you now, but
Yeah.
I'm learning the chords and.
You could come in here and jam with Pat Gray sometime, huh?
Yeah, I could.
Okay, very good.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, but you also like to paint, right?
Oh yeah, I paint all the time.
Is that work online anywhere? Anywhere people can check it out?
I paint to de-stress. I don't really
Yeah.
put the work online.
I understand.
It's on Pinterest, but you don't have to follow me. I kind of sell my work on Etsy sometimes.
Oh, really?
But
As paintings, right?
yeah, just as paintings. But it's just a side of me that it's not for anyone. It's just I'm just keep doing it.
Okay. Very good. Very good. What kind of music do you listen to?
Honestly, I listen to all kinds of music, but nowadays, since it's been really crazy, I've been listening to pop music and like pop music from the 90s and pop music from the 2000s.
I mean, the 90s is the best decade for music.
Yeah.
I've said it many, many times, and I will die on that hill.
And yeah, exactly.
Who are some of your favorite bands?
One of my favorite. So currently, as a kid, I grew up with Green Day, Fall Out Boy, The Script, and in times like this, I'm just listening to all these bands from my middle school days, and TikTok is crazy because it's all these new little kids taking over, and I'm like, no. What about Soldier Boy and all the all the songs I grew up with?
So you're 22 years old.
Yeah.
And the state of social media makes you feel old.
Yeah, I just got TikTok and I'm like, what is this? I'm not doing it right.
No, I don't.
I'm getting views and stuff.
I
but
refuse to
it's
have
weird.
that app on my phone. Not
Yeah.
doing TikTok. No. Plus, China will track you through it. So
everything is trackable.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a fair
take all
point.
my stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put my bank accounts online.
Let's see. Now, this is the point of the podcast where it's kind of tragic that it's only audio, because this hidden talent that you have where you can move one pupil and not the other. That is, can you at least for my benefit? Can I see that real quick?
Okay. Just like look up.
Right.
I.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's fun. That's good. That's
I
fun.
can do some other things with my eyes, but yeah, let's not go there.
Okay. So your earliest memory is playing cricket, right? In the house. How do you play cricket in the house? I mean, first of all, your dad sounds super cool because he was playing with you, right?
Yeah. So me and my dad are kind of like really close.
Okay.
Yeah. Like me and my dad and my brother, we all three were just we always play and make my mom angry, basically. We're like kids in the house. I think dads can relate. They're always the fun person. Sorry, Mom. Yeah, but we have a high ceiling.
Oh.
And we have like a chandelier, like a small chandelier in the middle of the high ceiling.
Oh no. Where's
So
this going?
occasionally we would hit it and my dad would just be like, oh God, okay, let me just grab the ladder, we'll fix it, Mom won't notice, and we'll just keep playing.
What? With an actual cricket ball and bat and everything?
We use tennis balls.
Okay, but still.
Yeah,
those can do
but
damage.
there was some damage. It was crazy. I don't know the rules to cricket.
See, okay,
Till this
I'm glad you
day.
say this. I'm glad you say this because I know it's big in so many parts of the world. When I lived and worked up in New York and New Jersey, I worked with a guy from New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And he would tell me about these cricket matches that would last for multiple days, which is insane to me. So I was fascinated by it, just a little bit that I'd been exposed to it. And in talking with this individual, one day I was driving in New Jersey, and a bunch of guys were in this big empty parking lot playing cricket.
Yeah.
I sat there, I watched, I observed, I said, today is the day. I had nowhere to be. It was perfect scenario for me to sit there, absorb this sport, and learn it. I could not follow it at all. And you're telling me that this is something you've tried to learn as well, and it just doesn't click with me. Help me understand this.
It's because I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the American in us. We just we don't understand things and we don't put enough effort. Like the metric system, I'm like,
Right.
I don't want to learn that.
I'm sure it's easier, but I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not learning it.
okay, maybe like my cousin will try to explain it to me. I'll just walk off. I could potentially learn cricket, but I just have fun hitting the ball.
Right.
That's all
That's what I want to
wanna
ask
do,
you. Does
and
your
catch
dad
and
know
win.
the rules, or does he just want to break chandeliers?
No, he knows the rules.
Well, he's got to teach both of us. Have him come up here and do it like a seminar for us.
He's a really bad teacher.
But we've got room out here for cricket in the middle of the studios.
Yeah.
Could make this happen.
He'll just try to make it fun for us, so he probably won't teach us. So we'll have fun though, but we won't learn.
All right. Well, very well.
Yeah.
So your dad, you talked about him. That's one of your earliest memories there is playing
Yeah.
cricket and breaking things in the house. He's had a big impact on you in your life, how you're close.
Yeah, very close. It's crazy. I could stay up until 4 a.m. anytime, even if he has work the next day or I have work the next day. We make time to talk.
That's
and
great.
really, even opening a company, he had full confidence in me.
That's awesome.
It's really like,
Very
being
important.
a filmmaker or anything, you want some support, and having parents, right there and then is just so powerful.
You have an embarrassing moment in your life. Do you remember what you put on the email?
Gosh, I'm not gonna lie, Keith. I have embarrassing moments every day. I ran into the wall coming here.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's what I do. I injure myself just by walking down the hallway. Oh, no.
And that heavy ass door we have up there, like I get stuck. The guard watches me struggle every day.
Okay, time out. Let's paint this picture for everyone listening. Here at the studios, here at the Blaze TV and radio studios, there is a heavy glass door that exits the building. And I'm telling you, it's not just you. In fact, I ask that guard every so often as I'm struggling with that door. I say, am I the only person that struggles with this door? He's like, nah.
I'm like yelling.
Oh, I do
at
too.
it,
Oh my
Boling.
gosh. I have dropped some bombs on that door before. Because you see, there used to be two sets of doors there. I don't know if you recall this, but there was a set of doors that just led to
Yeah.
that little exit area. Now, when there were two sets of doors, they just smoothly went floom, floom, and you were on your way. they removed the one set of doors for construction and stuff like that. And now there's just the one set of doors to exit the building. And that door refuses to open. And you'll wave your hand up there and try to make the red light turn green. And then it'll turn green. And you'll be like, oh, good, it's time to go. And you'll push against the door and I said, ha, 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 just kidding. Not happening, bro. So no offense. I'm glad to know it's not just me who stands there for an extra 10 seconds arguing with this door to just please let me free, let me be free.
But I have some bad news for us.
Oh no, what?
So I saw Hillary in heels just casually just open the door like it was just like a piece of paper. And she just went through and she had like all this stuff in her hands and she opened the door. And I'm here like
okay, seriously.
spending 10 minutes trying to open that door.
That door has chosen sides.
Yeah.
And we are on the bad side.
I agree.
I thought I was the only one. And I thought he was just being nice when the guard said, there's a few others. Well, ta-da!
I am definitely a big one. He helps me every time.
In fact, I'm not kidding you. It was just yesterday that I threatened, I said, and I looked at the guard and I said, next time this door treats me like this, I'm going to break it and I'm not going to have to worry if it wants to open or close for me. Just shatter the glass everywhere. It is okay, enough on the door, I guess, but it is all right. When is the last time you tried something for the first time?
So last week I took an archery class.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
It's good on the arms.
Yeah, see, there was a time when I actually could shoot a bow and arrow, but then Pat and I tried it for some goofy little internet YouTube video that's out there, and we both look like idiots trying to do it, you know? Like, I don't know if we had it backwards or something. You go to YouTube, look for Pat Gray archery, I'm sure something will come up. But, I mean, he hurt himself doing that. Have you injured yourself doing it, or you got good teachers?
Thank God no one was there because I hit it all at other people's targets.
No.
I hit like one bullseye, which was crazy, and all the other ones were at other people's target. So like Juan would have his share of targets, and then I would have mine all on his.
Oh.
And I was intentionally aiming for mine. So no, I suck at it. I need to get better.
Is it just the one time, or are you going to keep going until you get better and better, or what?
I don't know, but I just hate losing in general.
Okay.
So.
Well, it sounds like you like to try new things, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, you're competitive, right?
A good amount.
Okay, well, how many siblings do you have?
I have one younger brother.
Okay, do you guys compete? How much younger is he?
Oh, gosh, he's 2 years younger, but he's the talented one.
Oh, no. Like at what?
In not a bad way.
Or?
No, in like, he's an actor.
Okay.
So he went to New York to study acting. His name is Shah. And he was, as a kid, he was a professional dancer.
Oh.
He was competing, very competitive. And he just knew his talent. And he was so good at, whatever he touches, he's so good at it. And I felt like I at least, instruments and like dancing wise, I always struggled more. So I was always, not letting him know, but trying to keep up to my younger brother. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh.
For parents, approval, it was just so messed up as kids.
Does it last till today?
No, he's actually a manager for my company, and we work side by side.
Oh, that's great.
Every day.
A lot of things you want to do throughout your life. One of them is get to the Galapagos Islands. I've heard that there's, and I think, I don't want to make assumptions here, but I've heard there's a lot of fascinating creatures there. Is that what is drawing you there?
Yes, and actually the creatures haven't had that much human contact.
Right.
So they're not afraid of people. So if you go to, it's almost like going to another planet.
Yeah.
If you hit some other areas of the island, and the animals will approach you because they're curious to know what you are. They're not afraid of you because they've never been hunted.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I really, really want to see the Galapagos turtles, just the wildlife, because it's so unique, because it only exists there.
How expensive is it to get down there?
Okay, so National Geographic.
You looked this up?
So I wanted to go as a National Geographic explorer as a kid, and it cost like $7,000. It was like a 2-month program, but $7,000.
Well, I mean, are they paying for everything once you get there, like food and housing and stuff?
Yeah, I think they're paying for everything. I think, yeah.
Okay.
But I travel a lot, so I've traveled to Europe.
Oh yeah, where else did you go?
I took a I took a whole tour. So I went from like England to, took that underwater train, France, Italy, just kind of hopped around.
Okay, very cool. Did you like Europe?
Yeah, I love traveling.
But
love it.
you still think that seeing those crazy animals would be more fun, right?
When you see everything, you want to just see something you haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Europe. Like Switzerland's beautiful. Everything is good. But I just feel like the Galapagos, no one goes there.
Right.
And I want to go there.
No, that's true.
Yeah, like you just want to conquer something, but you want to really go somewhere unclaimed.
Conquer a goal. Yeah.
Yeah, unclaimed.
You want to go to Iceland, which is a goal of mine as well.
Wow.
See, what I just want to go to like the breweries and stuff like that. You want to see the Northern Lights up there. That's a good idea. Yeah. That'd be fun too. Which would you choose, Iceland or Galapagos?
Galapagos is the top. That is the goal since I was like, the goal was Africa, but I went there. So the next goal is Galapagos.
I mean, your goals are all over the planet, you know?
Yeah,
we've got Ecuador here. We've got Iceland. We've also got the cherry blossoms in Japan that you want to go see. And deep sea diving, Great Barrier Reef in Australia.
Yeah.
You got a lot of bucket list, geographically diverse goals here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I'm trying to take deep sea diving classes. With COVID, that kind of changed, so I'm going to push that to next year. But I want to learn so that the next 3-4 years I can go.
Good luck. Take a camera. Gotta take a camera, right?
Obviously.
And turn it into some sort of film or whatever.
Yeah, I always gear up.
And in case you missed the name of Pri's company, it's Pennycam Films, Penikam Films. And that's on Instagram. Where else are you with that?
Facebook. We haven't really started on YouTube, but we send files and stuff. And we have our website, pennycamfilms.com.
Very good. Yeah. Anything else people need to know about you here? Because we've covered a lot of ground in a short amount of time. Anything else you want to throw out there?
Yeah, nothing crazy. Just if anyone has a dream out there, whether it's small or big, be patient with it, but never give up on that gut feeling.
I like it.
I mean, I don't know where I'm going to be in 1 year, but hopefully I'm up somewhere. It's better than me not giving it a shot.
Well, and stop right now here and take the COVID stuff out of this, okay? Because nobody could have predicted that. But think of you a year ago, right? What you were doing, whatever you were up to, how much has changed in that year? How much life have you lived? Because think about this. You weren't associated with the Blaze a year ago. You have already, and I don't mean this in a negative way, you've already come, made your mark, and moved on to something else. I mean, you can accomplish so much in that short period of time. It's fascinating how quickly life can change, and now you're running a company. Kudos to you. I really hope this venture works out for you.
I mean, it's just whatever life gives you, you problem solve and turn it into an opportunity.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
All right, well, you and I need to figure out, somehow we have to commit to learning cricket. I just want to be able to watch it and know what's going on, okay?
I have cricket gear.
You have cricket gear and you don't even know how to play it?
Well, I play like every other weekend with my dad now with COVID.
Okay.
so
but you don't know what you're doing though necessarily.
We're doing the backyard now.
but you still don't know the rules, correct? You just hit the ball.
I swear, everyone's taking advantage of me because I don't know the rules, but I still managed to somehow like win-ish.
Right. So listen, we will learn, and then so they won't know that you're learning on the sly. And then you will go and you will call them on their cheating. Okay?
But there's some beauty of not knowing stuff and winning.
All right, well, good luck with that. All righty, thank you so much. Priyanka Shah, pennycamfilms.com, Penikm films.com. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Keith, for having me. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun.
And now we get to the next member of the Pat Gray Unleashed team over at The Blaze, Daniel Boling. Daniel originally went to college to study how to design video games. I'm not a big gamer whatsoever, but that is something that I am fascinated by. The ability to design those games. He's also a big fan of C.S. Lewis. He's had a terrifying run-in with a spider. Of course, aren't all run-ins with spiders terrifying? And Daniel finds himself surrounded by cats every day. Lots and lots of cats. Here's Daniel Boling, my next guest on At the Mic. Daniel, I don't know how to properly introduce you because I don't know what title you hold here at The Blaze. You are instrumental in bringing the Pat Gray Unleashed show to his audience. So have they ever told you what your title is here?
Duke, I think.
Duke?
Yeah.
Duke of the show? Okay, because see, what Daniel does is he has to deal with, I don't know, some weekends, maybe it's 30 emails from me. Is that about right?
Yeah.
About 30? Yeah. 3 dozen or so?
Somewhere in there.
And so what I'm constantly doing over the course of, so when the show ends in the morning until the next show begins, I am bombarding Daniel with email after email with videos that maybe you tag me on Twitter at Keith Malinak, or I see on the internet on news sites, or I just run across on my own searching through social media, and then I send those to Daniel. And then Daniel gets to pull those videos for Pat to use on his show. So
Yep.
I don't want to make any assumptions here, but surely I am, my name is the most frequent one that shows up in your inbox.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
And most of those videos have to be bleeped and edited and go in and listen to all of the background noise and cut stuff out.
Yeah. So I just call Daniel the video puller. That's a very important job, bringing you all of the visual elements to the show, Pat Gray Unleashed. So you were born here locally in the Dallas metro area in a place called Mesquite, Texas, right?
Yep. Born in Mesquite. Been there pretty much my whole life.
Wow. That's great. I mean, did you ever think, man, I should try to see what else is out in the world, or do you just love it here?
Both. I wouldn't mind going somewhere else. When I was looking for colleges, I was looking at different places, ended up settling on UTD.
Okay.
So even that was in state, but it wasn't like intentional.
Right.
But yeah, as it stands right now, I plan on staying in Texas for the time being.
All right. So what major did you have there in college?
Emerging Media and Communications.
That's what they're calling it now.
Yep.
Emerging Media and Communications. So what all is involved there? I mean, is it like when I was in school, way back in the day, last century, as a matter of fact, it was radio and TV. I'm sure there's a lot of internet elements nowadays, because how old are you?
28.
28. So your college experience was relatively recent.
Mm-hmm.
What all did they have y'all focusing on as part of your education?
About half of it was useless internet philosophy classes.
What?
But there was a lot of really good stuff. Took a lot of audio engineering, video editing. Originally, actually, I went there to do video game design.
Oh, wow.
So took some 3D modeling classes and basic programming stuff. And then after about a year and a half, I decided this is really fun, but I want to do it as a hobby, not like I don't want to do a career doing this. So I switched over to just digital communications, basically, and started taking a lot more film stuff. Actually, it was probably my senior year when I decided I like video editing.
I see.
So it wasn't even until then that I really decided kind of what I wanted to do.
Okay.
But yeah, it took a lot of video and audio classes.
So if you could design a video game, what kind of video game would you design?
Lately I've been interested in a lot of fighter games. Because when you start breaking down some of the attacks, like, it's weird how complex it can get.
I can't imagine, because they have to line up perfectly, the pixels and everything.
And you've got different frame rates for, like, let's say this attack is going to last 12 frames, and trying to factor that into the math of how much damage it's going to do for a 12 frame attack, and then balance that with other characters and maybe have a 15 frame attack so it does a little bit more damage, but this one has a 6 frame attack. And so it gets really interesting when you start looking at it from the mechanics standpoint and trying to balance it between characters. So I don't know, that would probably be, I have a lot of fun looking at that.
So when you set out to design a video game, is that all done, like, say, at a laptop, and you're just typing in codes, or what all is involved in that process to make it understandable for us simpletons? Most
everything, is going to be done at a computer.
Is it line code?
No, you've got 3D animators and artists, so the same...
It's
really
nothing like it was when I was a kid, right? Because I just imagine someone just with a bunch of ones and zeros or something, typing out commands and stuff like that. But you're saying now it's a much more visually appealing setup as you're designing, huh?
Yeah, it's almost a lot like sculpting, but digitally. And so you click and drag, the points on an object, create a 3D model, then someone else comes in and makes that model move, and then you have a programmer come in, tell it when to move based off of certain factors.
So how different is the process of designing a video game for like a gaming console or gaming platform and designing an app for a phone?
Not different.
Not different, huh?
The only difference would be an app probably wouldn't have 3D, it'd just be 2D stuff. But a lot of the same principles are going to be transferable, and even we use the same principles as like Hollywood would for movies. Really the same principle, just different programming and different engines and stuff like that.
So if someone came to you right now and said, design me a video game or design me an app, this is something that you think you could pull off?
No.
No, okay. Because Keith, I bailed for video editing halfway through. Yeah, okay.
I could do basic programming, but I wouldn't trust myself with it.
I understand. So when you were born and raised here, you have a sister.
Yes.
And how old is she compared to you?
3 years younger, 25.
Okay, so close in age then. You guys grew up together.
Yeah.
Were you close? Or are you completely different people?
In college, we got closer.
Oh, good. That's good.
At this point, it's so weird. Her husband, compared to her previous boyfriends,
oh no,
I actually really like this guy.
That's good.
And so it surprised me and all of us that like, hey, this guy's actually terrific. So me and him actually hang out sometimes.
Oh, that's good. That's really
so
great.
Weird, but yeah, it worked out.
So then she's still around here too, as well.
Yeah.
Then. Okay,
she's
great.
in the Mesquite area as well.
And you didn't think that you would be doing the job that you're doing today, video editing. You got a love for that during college. What are some things you did? Because you've been here at the Blaze for, I don't know, less than a year, right? Yeah.
Yeah, sometime January.
So what were you doing between college and now?
Bounced around with a couple of just short little audio or video gigs. And then I worked at a church doing their audio video stuff for about a year. And that was really cool because it was not planned or expected at all. Same actually with working here. So I was praying I'm a Christian. And praying a whole lot about, hey, God, where do you want me to go? This is what I want to do. Is this in line with your will and everything? And through a series of weird events that are completely out of my control, I was forced to move back to Mesquite. And within that week, my sister calls me up and says, hey, I met someone at a party. They work at a church. They're looking for an audio video guy.
All right.
I was like, okay, sounds good to me. And so kind of similar getting the job here where it just could not get job after job, and then things happen.
It's amazing, and maybe it seems amazing at the time, but it'll seem even more amazing later on when you take a step back and you just see the arc of everything and how all the dominoes fell into place throughout your life. So wait, how did you get from the video editing at the church job to here then?
It was a temporary position. I finished that. So it was just more of like a internship type thing. And so I finished that and spent a month basically just applying everywhere, and ended up running into just online one of the, I think HR guys that work here, and I just sent him a message for fun of it, see what would happen. And he's like, hey, that's perfect timing. I am just now taking the applications over to whoever. And so he pulled mine, and next thing I know, I'm talking to Sarah and working here.
That's great. So you live among cats.
Yes.
And as someone who has lived among cats before.
Too many.
Right. Our high water mark for a very short period of time when Carrie and I lived in Houston, we had 4 cats. And oh boy, what a treat that was. Especially when we had a newborn entered into the mix. Just in case you're keeping count at home, we're at 0 cats present. But you have 4 cats as well right now.
Yep.
What does that say about you, Daniel? Okay.
That we are too caring to turn things away.
That's kind of what happened to us. 2 of our 4 were just strays that wandered up and chose us. Is that what happened with you guys?
Yeah, they all appeared, somewhere. The latest one, Munchkin, we found her actually in a storm drain.
Oh my goodness.
So that one was probably the most rescued. And then Sassy, someone had and then had to get rid of, and so it ended up at our house. So yeah, I think it just kind of escalates.
Dexter and Gidget as well.
Yep.
So is there a lot of? Well, I know there is. I know the answer to this. Hairballs all over your house.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
under the beds.
horrible.
Oh yeah, on your clothes.
You wake up in the middle of the night to that sound. It's like, I know what's happening.
Yep, the hairball time. Yeah, there's a great bit on YouTube that if you look for it,
I don't know if I want to look for it.
yeah, you want to look for it. It's Jeff Foxworthy.
Oh, he's funny.
Oh yeah, and there's this one little thing where he talks about waking up in the middle of the night to that sound of the hairball in progress, and stumbling around in the dark in the fun way you find him. But
Yep.
cats, dude. I grew up with cats. I mean, from literally age 5 until age 40, I had cats. And there was one that really stands out. It was the last cat we had, Gertrude. And she died here in Dallas. I mean, she lived with us, Nebraska, Georgia, Houston, Omaha, Charleston, New York, New Jersey, and now Dallas. And this is where she passed. But the smartest creature. I mean, would play fetch and all this stuff. But be honest, and Gert was no exception. The attitude, man. You got to deal with that attitude. You have it times 4. How do you manage all those personalities in the house?
2 of them never come upstairs. So that helps kind of divide them.
Okay, I got you. All right.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, you play the trumpet?
Yeah.
Wow. How long have you been doing that?
Unfortunately, it's been a year or 2 since I've played. You graduate, and then you don't really have a band to play in. It's less interesting playing by yourself.
Oh, okay.
And so, but yeah, I played from middle school through sometime a little bit after college.
And you have one. You have a trumpet then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
bring it up here sometime.
somewhere between 10 and 15 years. And it's I really love it. Trumpet's fun.
You need to bring it up here. We want to hear you play the trumpet. That'd be try to coordinate with Pat. I want to hear a guitar. I want to hear an electric guitar and a trumpet jam.
I don't know how I'll sound after a few
See,
years.
look at that. See, and I got the egg shaker, and I got the tambourine, and we'll mix in the trumpet and the electric guitar, and we'll have fun.
I'm down.
Sound good? Okay,
Sounds
cool.
good.
All right, looking forward to that one. Okay, I don't like your earliest memory because
that's a scary one.
I don't like anything that has to deal with spiders. And this earliest memory of a giant spider on the screen door falling on you. Okay, tell the story, but as quickly and detail-free as you can, please.
Since I was so small, I don't know actually how giant it really was. It may have just appeared that way.
Trust me, man.
I like to hope that it was actually small.
No, as a guy who's terrified of spiders, every spider is the size of a fist. All right, I'm there with you.
But yeah, I don't know. I was outside playing and wanted to go inside, and I run up to the screen door, and my mom's telling me get away from the screen door, and she's at about the same time she's knocking it off, and it falls backwards. It lets go, and it didn't land on me, but it was close enough that there's like this giant spider coming towards me, so it was kind of scary.
Yeah, and so are you terrified of spiders, and does it go back to that?
I am. It's gotten a little better.
Do you think it started there?
I think it started there, yeah.
But you've also been within 20 feet of a wild bear. How did that happen?
Oh, yeah. So, I was in the Boy Scouts of America, and we were just out camping. And I think it was not in Canada, but it was somewhere up in the border, somewhere around there. And we were coming back to our campsite. And, of course, it's the farthest campsite, from the road. First went out there.
Yeah.
And we walk into the campsite, and all of a sudden, like, one of the kids is just kind of staring. And I turn around. It's like, what's going on? And there's a black bear.
Oh, my goodness.
Just standing there. And, I mean...
How old were you? Not that it matters. I don't think it matters what age you are. If
16,
you come face to face with a bear in the wild, it's never a good moment that you can handle on your own here. So what happened?
I think I was 16. And well, it was just 5 or 6 of us in a group, so it weren't as terrified of it. Probably reaching for my pocket knife, but it did a double take. It looked at us, politely walked away, and then looked back. And then went on about its business. And we're all just standing there like, what do we do?
Was this the beginning of the camping trip?
No, it was. I think it was at the end.
Okay, that's good.
We did a little excursion, and then we came back.
Okay. I would have never been able to fall asleep again during that trip if I knew there was a bear right there.
No, but it was. I don't know. It worked out. I enjoyed the experience, despite the fact that it was a little scary.
Yeah.
But I mean, We didn't feel threatened. It was not a threatening encounter. The bear just looked at us and then went about its business. So
Okay.
it
Well,
worked
that's
out.
good. All right, good. So who in your life has had the biggest impact on you, Mr. Daniel?
Probably one of the guys at a church I used to go to is the youth leader there, helping him. So I was helping lead the youth department just as a volunteer. The dude is just an awesome leader and father,
And what's his name?
Mark Hoffman,
Okay.
and he's just a great guy.
That's good.
And so
That's
there
good
was-
to have experiences with people in your life that are just great people,
Yeah,
you know?
I was just really, learned a lot from him just about life and great role model. So I really enjoyed time there, kind of
That's
probably
great.
2-3 years serving with him there.
That's great. And you also mentioned C.S. Lewis, who is an incredible author.
Oh, yeah.
So what are some of your favorite stuff from C.S. Lewis?
I really enjoy the Screw Tape Letters.
I was just about to say,
Yep.
what book is it going to be? You know?
'Cause it's a mixture of like philosophy and theology, but also just it's a really good. I love the way that Lewis is, even in other works, able to take really complicated ideas,
Yeah.
create a metaphor or symbolic story that explains those complicated ideas in a really understandable way. So it's just
That's kind
it's
of
awesome.
what Jesus did, too.
Yeah.
So your most embarrassing moment?
Oh,
What's the longest delayed reaction of all time is what he wrote in the email.
I'm
What
pretty
is it?
sure that I have an unofficial world record for the longest delayed reaction. So I heard a joke when I was a kid. I think my dad told it or something, and I was young enough that it's one of those jokes that it's not even funny, but it's a multi-layered joke.
Okay.
And I understood the first layer. I didn't understand the second layer. And so as a kid, I hear a funny joke, haha, I laugh, I go repeat it to other people. They laugh. They probably don't even get it. And then I run out of people to tell. And so I move on to the next joke.
Okay.
And I forget about it for years. And then senior year of high school,
Oh, no.
I'm driving down the road and the joke pops into my head.
Oh, no.
And
you finally hear it. You finally get it.
Yeah, just a subtle laugh. And then I realize what happened, that it's probably been over 10 years since I have heard that joke. And I didn't get it the first time I heard it.
And then for some
And so
reason
now I
popped
get
in,
it.
And nothing triggered it? It just popped in your head?
I don't know what train of events led to me remembering this joke, but it took over 10 years because I totally forgot it existed.
Uh-huh. Do you remember
yeah.
the joke? You're going to leave us hanging here.
What do you get if you cross an elephant with a rhino?
I don't know. What do you get?
Elephino.
And it only took you a decade.
Oh, I'd never heard the phrase before.
That's good.
I was like young.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. I got you now. Yeah. It's hard for me to put myself in that kind of mindset. I understand. That's good.
It's not funny enough, but if you build it up with a story, it gets a little bit of...
It was good. That was a good one. Okay, so what's something you want to accomplish in your lifetime?
I think it'd be really fun to direct a movie at some point.
Yeah. I mean, do you have any ideas of some stories that you would want to share? Or are you afraid somebody might rip them off?
At the end of the day, what I would want to do is, without being disrespectful, produce a quality Christian movie. Mm-hmm. And there are some out there.
I was going to say,
but
at least nowadays there are actually some.
There are some, and there are some that I've watched that I really enjoyed. But I know that
What are
there's
some of your
also
favorite
a lot.
Christian-themed movies that are out there?
So if you want to get technical, Tolkien was a Christian and wrote Lord of the Rings to be a Christian allegory, even though most people don't know that. So Lord of the Rings would probably be it.
Correct. Yeah.
I actually really liked the Case for Christ. I thought it was done very well. Just cinematically, it was a well done movie. There was a line or two that I thought was kind of cheesy, but other than that, it was well done compared to some of the others.
Okay, so let's see here. I'm looking over this list here. And what was the last time you tried something new for the first time? And it was running the radio board, Martin's board, for Pat Gray Unleashed, the show that I produce on the Blaze Network. How was that, man? How? Because you've been there a few times. It seems like you've been doing well, right?
I hope I have.
Is it intimidating?
Nothing has crashed and burned, so that's a positive.
No, so what's more intimidating? The video pulling or running the live board?
Live board. So if I make a mistake, it goes live, and then Pat sits here and says, "Anytime now." Well, not those words, but like, and then it went something like this, and he says that about 3 times.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I can see why running the board is a nightmare. We all have lived it in our broadcasting careers. But I think that I would hate pulling the video, not because it's video instead of audio, but I think I would be more intimidated by pulling the video because you're trying to get all this stuff done in a hurry before the show in the morning, and it's early enough as it is. And you're like, man, do I need to get in earlier because I got all this stuff that Keith's been emailing me? And so that's just me. Just the pressure of trying to pull all that video on time.
I do get to sleep in an extra hour when I'm doing soundboard.
See? There's that too. But no, you've done a great job at both things. So
with the video, there is something with the video because if you miss a bleep, that's a little terrifying.
Yeah. Well, we take care of that in post-production. But hey, if you watch the Pat Gray Unleashed show live, sometimes you get a Easter egg in the form of a 4-letter word. I ask, do you have a bucket list? And you say movies. What does that mean? To make movies?
No, yeah, that's
okay.
like
okay. Just making sure it's the same thing from earlier. All right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, to be realistic about it. Like I know it's in the distant future, working my way towards there. That would be awesome someday to be able to do. I want to be realistic about it, but also that's just I enjoy telling stories, and so like I play. This might be my most embarrassing thing. I play Dungeons and Dragons. And so part of the reason I do is because I get to tell some of my stories that are in my head.
How does that work? What do you mean?
It's basically
I'm literally I have heard the phrase Dungeons and Dragons. I know all the stereotypical jokes and all the people that the kinds of people that play it or whatever, but I have never taken 5 seconds to really understand. There was a story recently where Dungeons and Dragons I think was changing some characters. Okay, for one reason or another. And only then did I begin to realize that I guess certain cards, certain characters can beat other characters or something like that. Is that do I have any grasp on this whatsoever?
Kind of. There are characters you can choose from, and then you progress, you level up, and they get new abilities or new attacks or new spells every time you level up. And so, yeah, when they mess with when they came out with 5e, which is the latest version, to my knowledge at least, they changed some of the mechanics. So maybe this character doesn't get this spell until this level, but things like that.
Has there ever been a Dungeons and Dragons themed movie?
I think so.
Okay. Well, if you think so, then it probably wasn't that good if it does exist. But maybe that's what you do, man. You make I'm giving you your life goal now. It's a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I know that there are some that exist, but they were not done.
They're probably done in a basement, right?
If you want to get technical, once again, Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons was loosely based off of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, was it really?
Yep. To my knowledge.
Wow.
And then, to my knowledge, most of the modern idea of fantasy with elves, dwarves, all that stuff came from Tolkien's idea, and so Lord of the Rings or Dungeons and Dragons definitely kind of pulls from that.
Okay, so they
do their own thing, but
yeah, get this. Dungeons and Dragons. There was a movie back in the year 2000. I don't know who rated this, but okay, out of 31,000 votes at IMDb, it has a 3.6 out of 10 rating. So there's definitely something out there for you to make better. But get this, as I'm doing some quick on-the-fly research, it would appear that there is a Dungeons and Dragons movie scheduled for release in the year 2022.
Interesting.
So if that one also fails to live up to what you want to see on the big screen with Dungeons and Dragons, I implore you to take it on yourself. Will you take that project on? Can you promise the At the Mic audience right now that if that movie is no good in a couple of years from now, you will make a better version?
Sort of. It would be a TV show, not a movie. It'd be a cool mini series.
That kind of builds.
I do have an idea that kind of fits with the D&D theme, and it would be probably one season.
I was going to ask you, how many episodes roughly live in your head of this D&D themed
Specific
TV show?
episodes, I don't know. It's more just an arc, and then however many episodes that takes. But it'd be one arc.
Well, good luck.
I don't like the shows that just keep going and going and going. I'd rather you finish your arc and then say you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Those are generally the best.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks when they're done, but I would rather it be meaningful than...
And go out on top as opposed to drag it out to who knows how long. And then you're constantly having to create a story to support the existence of the TV show as opposed to here's the story, deal with it as it is.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Personally, I know everybody's going to hate this, but I think Marvel should finish with Endgame because it was such a top. But
it was an Endgame, if you will.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
I'll still go see the movies there.
I do want to give people your social media handle. So if you like to follow all of the team that is involved with Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze TV network, Daniel Boling is one of them. Your Twitter handle, that's the only place you are, right? Twitter? Something I kind of
Twitter
forced you
and
to do?
Facebook. I only have Twitter because of the show.
Okay, yeah. So it's at Daniel Boling Son. Why has it got the S-O-N on the end there? DANIEL BOLING Son? S-O-N? Why not just Daniel Boling?
It's because Daniel Boling already exists. There's another Daniel Boling
There's
out
an
there
imposter
that I don't know. He's a folk singer or something. He does
singer?
something with singing, and like all of my emails, there's all kinds of variations I've tried, and I can't get Daniel Boling. So in high school or college, at some point, somebody gave me the nickname Boling Son. From I think Karate Kid, Danielson, and then
okay.
Whatever. Things escalate.
That makes sense now. Danielson.
They evolve over time, and so I decided to just start using Bolingson since it's not taken.
But the way you kind of tossed that aside, the Danielson, it sounds like you haven't watched Karate Kid.
No, I've seen it.
I'm making sure. I mean, it's a...
I apologize. I have seen the show.
It's a great flick.
Movies. Plural. There's 3 of them.
Okay.
4 of them.
Oh, gosh.
Is there a 5th now?
I don't know. I don't know. Wasn't it a girl involved in one of them? Like she was the Karate Kid?
I don't know. They've had too many. Jackie Chan was Mr. Miyagi at some point.
Oh, man. I definitely bailed on that series before he came.
That was one of the more recent ones.
Let's see here. So 1984 was when Karate Kid came out. And then after that...
It's kind of cool. They actually came back with this and did a YouTube series called Cobra Kai. I've seen season 1. I haven't seen season 2 yet. I need to, but it's the same, 2 original characters, Daniel, and then I forget who his rival's name was. But the series is actually really good.
Okay,
like, I really enjoyed season 1. I haven't seen season 2, but
I mean, is it as good as the Karate Kid Part 2, or Karate Kid Part 3, or the next Karate Kid, which starred Hilary Swank appearing as Mr. Miyagi's new student, Julie Pierce? But you're right, they did do a Karate Kid remake along the lines in 2010, which did, of course, star Jackie Chan. So.
The series on YouTube is definitely better than some of the later movies.
Oh, and Jaden Smith. Okay, very good. Yeah. All righty. Well, thanks for spending time here. Daniel Boling Son. No, at Daniel Boling Son on Twitter. I'm going to call him the video puller for Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze TV network. Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having me.
This has been At the Mic with Keith, an independent podcast production. Look for At the Mic Show on Twitter to connect.